Craig's cousin, Terry Virts, and I can remember when Craig was born, I was so excited to have another cousin. I had Kristen, who was a handful. I was a weird teenager who liked kids, and so I was the only child, so they were like my brother and sister, having Craig and Kristen. But right after Craig was born, I went off to the Air Force Academy, and I was gone for years. I'd come home for Christmas, and we'd have dinner and watch football while the women cooked and cleaned and did all the work, and the men would sit and watch football. And so I didn't see him much. I felt like I missed out on Kristen and Craig's childhood. When I got married in 1989. There's a picture of Craig as the altar boy, and there's that picture of him. He was such a little angel. Preview of things to come. But I was just gone all the time, in the Air Force. I was an F-16 pilot. I had 11 addresses in 11 years living in Asia, and I kind of would just see him occasionally. But it was always like coming home to see my brother. And he's such a good-looking guy. When you see these pictures, he's like a movie star. He was got his mom's genes, thankfully. But finally, after many years and decades, I retired from the Air Force, and I started coming home more often. And Craig kind of had his life in Baltimore, and we'd go to Orioles games every year. The Orioles executives got to know Craig. They'd always come down and say hi, and we started texting each other. Like for decades, I hardly ever stayed in touch, and just in the last 7 or 8 years, we kind of really got to be close. And we would talk about crabbing, and he got this boat. He was at like, what engine should I get? We would talk about that. Talked about the Orioles a little bit. Talked about women. He had his job at Northrop Grumman. He was so proud of that. Worked for 20 years, and I was an F-16 pilot. I know there's a lot of folks from Northrop Grumman. Thank you guys for coming. Y'all made my radar, which worked very well. A lot of our family worked at Northrop Grumman. And so for 20 years, Craig had a really important impact on our national security. He built electronic equipment and drones and who knows what else. Maybe the stuff at Area 51. I don't know what you guys do. It's all secret back there. But Craig had a real impact on national security. He was a union member working there, very proud of that. We would talk about COVID and all the stupid restrictions and about politics and crabs. He talked about his melancholy and his demons, and he had some. His dreams of moving south. He wanted to go to South Carolina. He was tired of the weather up here. He was tired of the taxes, and he told me he heard the giant explosion when that boat ran into the bridge last year. His house was right by there. So we talked a lot about that. Then he got sick. And at first we thought it was just, he had surgery, and we thought that a stent would work or something. And he was very optimistic he was going to get through it. And then we found out it was cancer. And he was optimistic and he was going to beat it. He wanted to go do the chemo. The problem is pancreatic cancer is batting 1,000. But Craig fought it. 9 months. It was supposed to last a month, and he fought that thing off. I was here the last year. I've been coming to. Unfortunately, I'm having to come to DC for my new job, but I was here a lot. There's pluses and minuses, and we did not expect to be having this day in August. We thought we'd be wearing jackets to this, but Craig fought it for a long time. I took him down to DC. A friend of mine, former dean at Johns Hopkins, Craig went, and we talked about foreign policy for hours, and this was just a few months ago. We were just across the street at Friendly's. We just had lunch there. It seems like yesterday. It was like a month or a couple months ago.
It was about 2 months ago.
Yeah. He ate this greasy burger and ice cream. We're like, I don't think this is going to end well, but he ate it. I didn't have to be in line with him, so.
Yeah, thanks.
He instigated it.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
let's go to Friendly's.
Excuse me. I have this chronic cough. I'm not sick. But as Craig fought this thing, there was one person with him, and that was Helen. And he's the luckiest man on earth to have a mom like you. Very, he was super, super, super lucky. There's never been a mom that cared for anybody like that. It was he was a lucky guy. Very lucky to have Helen English as his mother. But Craig lived a full life. You know, we were talking about that. You never know, guys. You have to live your life. You never know. There's car accidents, there's cancer, who knows? You might live to be 100. You know, he has 3 kids. He worked for 20 years, this really meaningful national security job that he had. Craig was a working class guy, just like our whole family. You know, there's so many, everybody in our family was in the union. That's who Craig was. That's the foundation of America. You know, if America is this big, fancy thing, the foundation is the working class, and that's who Craig was. That's who our family is. It is what makes America great. He was just a great cousin and friend, and I was very lucky to know him. I'm very sad I can't go to Orioles game. We were just at an Orioles game a couple years ago with Jack in the rain, but beat the Yankees on a walk-off wild pitch. It was a great game. So I'm lucky to have known Craig. I know all of us are in different ways. It's that little angel of a guy.
I know.
But he was very proud of his kids, Gracie and Silas. He loved you guys. And he was very, and his aunts and uncles he was always talking about. Aunt Ev and Jack, and coming down to the river. I know a lot of the guys here came down and had crabs and worked on the family boat, so thank you for those of you who did that. Talking about Pat and Tom. So anyway, thank you guys all for coming here. This is a huge turnout on a Saturday afternoon. We really appreciate it. And I'm glad you're at peace now, Craig. That was a brutal couple months, and it's really, today's the day to celebrate that phase is over and a new happy phase has begun. So thank you for those words. That's the bottom line. So live your life. You don't ever know when it's going to be over. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Derek. Thanks.
Yeah.